Good afternoon and welcome to CoreTV News at 4. We do apologize for the late transmission. President Muhammadu Buhari, in a nationwide broadcast this morning to mark the 55th independence anniversary, charged Nigerians on the unity of purpose to celebrate the independence. The president reiterates the efforts to remain committed to promises and on the change matter, especially within the war against Boko Haram, saying his government is not meant for hunting anyone and all hands must be on deck to win.
For the nation, my countrymen and women, every new government inherits problems. Ours was no different. But what Nigerians want are solutions, quick solutions, not a recitation of problems inherited. Accordingly, after consultations with the Vice President, senior party leaders, and the other senior stakeholders, I quickly got down to work on the immediate, medium-term, and long-term problems which we must solve if we are to maintain the confidence which Nigerians so generously bestowed on us in the March elections. And since then, as you know, I toured the neighboring countries, marshaled a coalition of armed forces of the 5 nations to confront and defeat Boko Haram.
Also, President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, turned up at the presidential villa alongside other dignitaries for ceremonies marking the nation's 55th independence anniversary. It was the first time he would be seen publicly at the State House since he emerged Senate President against the wish of the leadership of the ruling All Progressives Congress. The event was the ceremonial change of guards at the forecourt of the seat of power. I'll bring you details of that report subsequently. Government officials led by the state governor Ben Ayadi and his deputy Governor Iwaris thronged the 20,000 capacity stadium. Politicians, security operatives, students, civil society groups, royal fathers and residents of Cross River State graced the occasion. Among dignitaries present is Senator Florence Itagiwa, His Royal Highness Atubo Bassey Duke, Chairman of Atubo's Traditional Council, who represented His Eminence Edidem Ekmo Obon Ambassador V, the Obong of Calabar, the State Chief Judge and other members of the executive and legislature arm of the state government. The ceremonial parade is ongoing and will bring you details in our subsequent bulletins. Senator representing Bauchi Central, Hama Issa Misal, has said that Senate President Bukola Saraki is not responsible for the inability of Senator Ahmed Lawal to emerge as majority leader in line with the proposal of the leadership of the All Progressives Congress. Ms. Sao explained members of the Northeast Caucus of the APC in the Senate overwhelmingly voted against the decision in preference for Senator Ali Ndume. He recalled that out of the 11 senators who were members of the caucus, 8 voted for Ndume while 3 opted for Lawal. Senator Misal noted that the explanation became necessary in view of widespread belief that the Senate President deliberately antagonized the party leadership by refusing to name Lawal and others into leadership positions. The Bauchi senator added that many people overrate the powers of the Senate President, whom he says must always do what his colleagues want and must even carry them along at all times. He added that contrary to speculations in some quarters, majority of the senators are not in support of Saraki, even in spite of the ongoing trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. Former Vice President and Chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, Atiku Abubakar, has asked the Nigerians deserve a pat on the back for their perseverance in preserving the country since independence. He said this in a statement congratulating Nigerians on the occasion of the nation's 55th independence anniversary. The Turaki Adamawa noted that this year's celebration is significant because it coincides with a change of government when an opposition party took over power through a democratic, free and fair election. The former vice president identifies nation building as the greatest challenge facing the country because, according to him, Nigerians still need to improve the way they relate to one another. He added that there is a need for the people to begin to see themselves first as Nigerians rather than one ethnic group or the other. On the challenge posed to the nation by the prolonged Boko Haram insurgency, The former vice president is full of praise for the armed forces and the successes of the latter in the campaign against terrorism. He calls on Nigerians to continue to support the armed forces and its commander-in-chief, President Muhammadu Buhari, until terrorism becomes a thing of the past. And while lawmakers in the Senate have described Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary as a time for sober reflection in the face of overwhelming socio-economic and security challenges, while taking turns to congratulate Nigerians and President Muhammadu Buhari on the feat, they also stressed the need to reassess the country's economic situation. While speaking on the wish for a nation united in progress and development, Deputy Senate Leader Balam Bunada praised the motion. The House of Representatives have been recounting their experiences on national issues and events that led to the independence of Nigeria 55 years ago. In a motion moved by Raphael Bukwe, whose lawmaker noted that despite the challenges the country has gone through, there are more reasons to celebrate at 55. They also record how Nigeria proved wrong several predictions of a disintegration in 2015 with the success of the March general elections. Our correspondent, Pius Samuel, has more.
It's the second day of plenary in the House of Representatives after a 6-week break, and also the eve to Nigeria's 55th independence anniversary. And these lawmakers say they are pleased that Nigeria is still a united entity. With the House suspending its rule to enable members move a motion on independence, this legislator says Nigerians should be congratulated for their patience.
There are so many good reasons to celebrate our independence anniversary in spite of our challenges as a nation. Note that this occasion offers yet another opportunity to reflect on the country's past and plans for the future. Aware of the concerted efforts and sacrifices of Nigerians towards maintaining one united country founded on the principle of equity, fairness, and justice.
The reflection on Nigeria at 55 brought to the fore the good old days when Nigeria and Nigerians lived together as brothers and sisters. Members of the House say they will not forget the contributions of the founding fathers and those who paid the supreme price in the struggle for independence. But they also wish that Nigerians learn from the legacies and patriotism displayed by their forebears.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to celebrate Nigeria. I want to celebrate the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria who won his election through elections that people adjudged to be free and fair. He carries the standard bearer of the collective hope and aspirations of Nigeria, in spite of where you come from, north, east, west, and south, who swore to defend, uphold, and protect the Constitution of Nigeria, and I believe that as a man of integrity that he is, he will do just that.
We have seen how our people leave the shores of this country, professionals. They go abroad and they just become the best and brightest there. What is wrong? This is the environment that they have found themselves that has hindered them from giving as much as they can. We have to make a conscious effort to change the way we do things here. We have to make sure that we allow ourselves to grow. We help ourselves to get to the limits of whatever we put our minds to. And at the end of the day, this country will be so good that others will now be rushing.
Some of them are, however, concerned over the level of disunity amongst Nigerians, especially in the area of religion. They say until Nigerians see themselves as brothers and neighbors, the needed peace might not be fully achieved.
Where did we let it come to the extent that your neighbor will now become an enemy? Where one will look at somebody and say, you're not from my tribe. Where the other person will say, I'm not from your place. When it all starts, then it's a wake-up call for Nigerians to know that for God to keep us alive today is for a purpose. And for Nigeria not to be situated up to now, it means that Nigeria has
Members unanimously adopted the motion and congratulated Nigerians and Nigeria on the country's 55 Independence Day celebrations. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Senator Shola Adeyeye has assumed office as the Senate Chief for 3 months after the inauguration of the National Assembly. Now, this was after the Southwest Caucus of the All Progressives Congress sent in a letter endorsing him for the position. He was the party's choice for the position, but did not take his seat at the time other principal officials from the APC were named. Senator Adeyeye is the only one out of the 4 endorsed by the party leaders, which the Senate leadership found acceptable. You're still watching CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a quick break. I'll be back on my stories. Please stay with us.
Rise, oh compatriot, Nigeria, call obey to serve our fatherland. Strength and faith, the laborer, our heroes past shall never be in vain.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
They talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
But some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, we don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Thank you for joining us again. For more news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV with a space then news. A day which would have been the commemoration of Nigeria's independence and 19th year creation of Ekiti State. Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, was gripped with protest from coalition of students. The students took to the streets alleging the arrest of their president, Olusola Kolapo, by the Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, and total neglect of students' agitation. However, the Deputy Governor denies this allegation. Our correspondent Rashid has more details.
The Oluyemi Kayode Stadium in Ado-Ekiti has been the yearly venue of independence celebration, but no action is recorded. Instead, the action is taken to the streets of Ado-Ekiti by students in protest against the state government. Their grouse is about the harsh condition attached to students' bursary and scholarship and the arrest of the union president by the deputy governor, Kolapo Eleka.
About 2 weeks ago, I went to the scholarship board to agitate for my people about the bursary, and on getting to that place, being agitating, what they don't sign, they don't agree with what I'm saying. That's the reason why I was arrested. The intimidation is too much by the deputy governor of Ekiti State.
The Commission of Education was there. And when we were there, we were made to understand the fact that the deputy governor of the state has interest in this case.
The students also fought the recently held education summit, while representatives of the state-owned university decry neglect.
They did education summit in which none of the student union leader in Ekiti State is in attendance. They mobilized Okada Rider in Yaloja.
How will you tell the students in Maduguri, in Yo, like state students, to come down to this state collect bursary?
We have observed that even the state government is not ready to listen to student agitations. Why?
The state government, however, denies the allegation while reinstating its commitment to students' welfare in the state.
That is not true. because as at the time the student was arrested, the deputy governor was attending the Economic Council meeting in Abuja. We want to pay the bursary. We want it to be an online thing, so that it will be a direct contract between the government and the students.
The end to this may still be far in sight as the student body vow to press home their demands further. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
The People's Democratic Party has charged Nigerians to use the occasion of the nation's 55th independence anniversary to rekindle the spirit of patriotism, exhibiting actions that promote democratic ideas and peaceful coexistence at all levels in the country. In a statement signed on Wednesday by its National Publicity Secretary Olasamatu, the party said the occasion reminds of Nigeria's common root and destiny, as well as a resilience and determination to succeed in all spheres of life. It further congratulated the citizenry for keeping faith in the Nigerian project and working together in building a strong nation and one of the fastest growing economies in the world. The party, however, urged the Nigerians to use the anniversary to recommit to respecting their leaders at the local government, state and national levels, while paying adequate reference to national symbols and institutions. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Wednesday congratulated Nigerians as the nation marks their 55th independence anniversary as a sovereign state, saying patriotism and selfless service are two aspects that can truly reflect the essence of the country's independence. The governor, in a statement signed by his chief press secretary, Habib Haruna, said the period of independence must not be lost on anyone, urging Nigerians to rededicate themselves to the pride and service of the nation as exemplified by her founding fathers. As Nigeria prepared to celebrate the 55th independence anniversary, Nigerians react on the state of the nation, which borders on economy, health, education, youth employment, security of lives and property.
I can see the good work of the president. At least he has changed our economic system, and we pray for more wisdom for him to also continue and to keep the good work.
I wish everything should be going smooth, not armed robbery, not anything, for the government to improve more efforts in Nigeria. May God bless Nigeria.
Our economy is still deteriorating, and the way of this state of government, whereby our government has promised us so many things, schooling, there are still so many people who does not have schools, and it's still deteriorating, but at least better than before.
I'm so glad that I'm alive. My children are alive. Nigeria is okay because we've improved. I thank God that we've improved.
My dear, I will not lie you. Things are just a bit difficult for some people. Honestly, people that are on top, they have to do something.
I am very happy. I am very, very great because my husband, my children, in short, I thank God. So the only thing I can say, let our country do something. People are suffering.
Tomorrow we'll be celebrating our independence, and little bit things are improved, let me just say that. But we are still expecting more change, exactly, especially in the area of our economic. We're really expecting change, and we believe we're going to have it very soon.
The National State Assembly's Election Petitions Tribunal sitting in Jalingo has annulled the election of Senator Bashir Marafa. He was representing Taraba Central on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. Udo Gardner reports that the tribunal directed the Independent National Drug Commission to issue certificates of return to Yusuf Abubakar of the All Progressives Congress as the duly elected senator.
Senator Bashir Marafa is one of 3 senators who emerged victorious in the last election on the PDP platform. But the Elections Petitions Tribunal has ruled that he was not validly elected. In its ruling on the petition filed by APC's Yusuf Abubakar, the tribunal set aside Marafa's election and declared the petitioner duly elected with the highest number of lawful votes. It also ordered INEC to issue the petitioner a certificate of return. Expectedly, the petitioner's counsel is satisfied with the outcome of the petition.
The judgment is sound, well researched, and
In all things, what is important in a judgment is dispensation of justice. The root of the complaint is that votes were swapped. Results duly collated in the polling units were not reckoned with at the local government collation center. The borderline judgment that is not based on common sense is not judgment. This is the average man's expectation of justice.
For their part, counsel to the respondents described the judgment as normal. They, however, noted that the decision to appeal is that of their client.
On a serious note, yes, we lost in the tribunal, but we have never lost the court, because the tribunal is just the court of first instance. After the tribunal, there is the court of appeal.
Well, naturally, you want your client to win. That is natural. But it's not every time that you win. You win some, you lose some. Even in the present dispensation, we have won several cases, even at the court of appeal. But it is for us to advise our clients accordingly. We will tell them our own view of the case, and then we will advise. But it's one thing to advise, it's another thing for your clients to hit the advice.
Tight security was provided at the Sharia Court of Appeal, Jalingo venue of the sitting to forestall any possible breach of peace. Udra Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
The National State Legislative House's Election Tribunal sitting in Ado-Ekiti has delivered judgment on 4 petitions filed before it on the last general elections. 3 of the petitions are challenging the results declared by INEC in 1 Senate seat and 2 seats in the House of Assembly, while 1 petition is about the omission of the logo of 1 party on the ballot papers of the elections. Our correspondent Rashid has more.
The first judgment by the tribunal was on the petition filed by the candidate of the People for Democratic Change, who is contesting the omission of its logo on the ballot of the election. The tribunal struck out the petition on the ground that the PDC candidate was not validly nominated because his party failed to fill all required forms in respect of the standard bearer for the election to the Ekiti Central Senatorial District.
The tribunal, in their wisdom, believe that is not properly ushered before them. So that's just the thing.
What is the next step now?
Yeah, when I discuss with my clients, we know what to do.
The tribunal also dismissed the 2 petitions challenging the victory of PDP candidates in the April 11 House of Assembly election. The petitions are by Shola Olofin, APC versus Arogunade Musa, PDP for Ado Constituency 1, and Adeyeye Johnson, APC versus Samuel Omotosho, PDP for Oye Constituency 1. The petition by Benga Olofin of APC challenging the victory of Fatimat Rajirasaki of PDP in the Ekiti Central Senatorial seat at the Senate also failed.
Going by the election and everything that was pleaded in the course of trial, you see that the election was free and fair, but they were just trying to come using technicalities to nullify the election. And I'm so happy that the court came out to say no, that they cannot do that.
With this judgment, the Ekiti Petition Tribunal has finished its assignment. Fireworks may only be expected at the appellate court. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
President of the Nasir Life Party Society of Nigeria, NASFAT, has commiserated with the families of those who lost their lives during the just concluded holy pilgrimage in Mina, Saudi Arabia. In a statement personally signed by his president, Camille Bolarua, the society prayed to the Almighty Allah to grant the victims eternal rest, urging them to take solace in the words of Allah. The society also enjoined the Umar to avoid any comments capable of undermining the unity of Islam as the Saudi authorities proceed with investigation into the stampede. The society also appealed to the Saudi authorities to provide adequate medical care for all those who sustained injuries during the stampede and to compensate the affected families. We'll take another quick break. I'll be back on my stories. Please stay with us.
Is it war crazy
or autocracy. Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to the secret. I said to hell
on Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody have the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Thank you for joining us again. For some stories outside Nigeria, Russia has launched a series of airstrikes in Syria for a second day, now targeting rebel-held positions in the northwest held by the Army of Conquest Rebel Alliance, as well as areas in Homs and Hama provinces. Russia said it struck 12 Islamic State IS positions in 24 hours, destroying a command center and 2 arms depots. Russia carried out about 20 missions on Wednesday, but the U.S. fears the targeted non-IS opponents of Russia ally. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, according to reports, the strikes hit areas near the strategic town of Jish al-Shoga, as well as areas in Idlib province and Hama province further south. Iran says the number of its citizens who died in the Hajj stampede in Saudi Arabia last week has reached 464, which is double the previous toll. Iranian authorities say there is no longer hope of finding any of the country's missing pilgrims alive. Now, according to Saudi officials, 769 people died in the crash in Mina near Mecca, and 934 were injured. Iranian officials allege that the overall number of deaths is now more than 1,000. Pakistan, India, and Indonesia have also suggested that toll, which may be higher than the 769, as reported by Saudi Arabia. Saudi authorities have not released a breakdown of victims by nationality, but a tally of the numbers of dead released by individual countries adds up to more than the official figure. Now with the word of sport. Nigerians Ahmed Musa was on the score sheet in SCA Moscow 3-2 defeat of PSV in the UEFA Champions League game played at the Arena Kimmich on Wednesday night. The game, which has lured Skorke's side first win in the competition, saw the former Kano Pillars forward nets the first goal on the encounter in the 8th minute. Zoran Torchik's in-swinging corner from the right dropped to the feet of Musa, returned the ball into a net after reaching faster than any of the PSV players around him. CSKA doubled the advantage when Dombia finished off Mario Fernandez's perfect right-wing cross, his looping header going up and over the outstretched right hand of Jordan Zoet of the visiting goal. Zambia's second of the game came from the sports Zoet being sent the wrong way after he had conceded a foul by Halton. Tojik's charged towards goal with an ill-timed long. Nevertheless, Philip Corker's men very nearly turned the result around with a valiant second-half fight back, led by Mazen Lefton, who netted a pair of goals of his own. Cristiano Ronaldo managed to shake off the Malmo defense to score twice and edge closer to becoming Real Madrid's greater goal pitcher on Wednesday. The Portuguese, having netted his 81st and 82nd Champions League goals against the Swedish side, is now tied with Raul as the club's top scorer of all time with 323 goals. The Portuguese superstar disclosed his happiness and pride at reaching the milestone, though he was well shocked for most of the night by the dodged Malmo defense. Ronaldo only sporadically lit up the Swedish Knights with his brilliance. Thankfully for Madrid, it was enough to secure all 3 points and take them to the top of Group A. Finally, Wales are one place behind Brazil after reaching an all-time high of 8 in the FIFA World Football Rankings. Wales stay above England, who remain at 10th, while Northern Ireland move up 6 places to 35th. It is a 6-year high for the Northern Irish, while Scotland are down 9 to 40th, and the Republic of Ireland slipped 3 places to 54th. World Cup winners Germany had moved back in 2nd place in the rankings behind Argentina. The new list takes into account the Euro 2016 qualifiers in September. Wales won in Cyrus before a home draw with Israel brought them closer to qualification for the first major tournament since 1958. Austria is celebrating their highest ever placing at 11 after stealing a place at Euro 2016, while the biggest mover is Liberia, rising 65 places to 95. Well, that's the wrap on CoreTV News at 4 minutes. Thanks for watching. I'm Olajumoke Olatiju. God bless Nigeria.